Heaven just released a new order. Archangel Michael's next move depends on your willingness to respond to this call. My beloved child, tonight the stars themselves seem to be holding their breath. The skies are heavy with a message, one that is not meant for everyone, but only for those who are ready to hear. Heaven has just released a new order, a divine instruction that carries the weight of eternity. And at the center of it all stands Archangel Michael, sword gleaming, waiting for one thing, your response. You might not feel it yet, but the shift has already begun. The heavens are realigning. The frequencies of earth are trembling. And your name, yes, your name has been spoken in the higher realms. Michael, the warrior of light, has been given a new mission. But it cannot begin without your willingness to move, to awaken, to answer the call buried deep within your spirit. Can you sense it? A gentle pulse in your chest that isn't just your heartbeat. It's the echo of divine urgency. For centuries, Archangel Michael has stood between light and darkness, protecting humanity from forces unseen. But now, heaven's command has chained you. The order is not simply to defend, but to awaken the chosen. And you, my beloved child, are one of them. The message was released during the hour of ascension, a sacred moment when the veil between realms thins. Michael's wings burned with radiant fire as the decree echoed through the cosmic halls. The next move depends on the response of the willing. Those words were not so. They were literal. Every soul that hears this message now has a choice to make. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because heaven placed this message in your path. Something has been written in the divine script and you have a role to play. But before you understand what the call demands, you must first understand why heaven has acted now. The world, as you see it, is standing on the edge of a silent war, not fought with swords or fire, but with truth and illusion. The angels have been watching as humanity drifts further from its divine nature. And now the balance has reached its breaking point. Michael, the defender of truth, cannot act until he knows who stands with him. Heaven's order is clear. The army of light will not be commanded. It must awaken by choice. There is something ancient in those words, something sacred. Every sound that leaves the lips of heaven ripples across creation. That's why even as you listen now, your spirit feels an unmeter as if destiny is brushing against your soul. Because it is. You may not see the full picture yet, but this is the moment when your response will shape what happens next. The choice you make to listen, to awaken, or to ignore will determine how Michael's move unfolds. But how does one respond to a heavenly call? It is the mystery we must unfold together. Step by step. The divine order is not just a message. It's a test of faith, courage, and awareness. Heaven does not choose the strongest. It chooses the willing. Right now, unseen, forces are watching you, not to judge, but to record your answer. The divine realm measures readiness not by what you say, but by what stirs inside your heart as you hear these words. The path that follows is not easy. It will require you to confront the illusions you've carried for years, the fears that chained your light, and the disbelief that silenced your spirit. But if you stay, if you keep listening till the end, the revelation you'll receive could alter the way you see destiny forever. This is the threshold. A moment before the heavens move again, Archangel Michael's sword hovers, waiting. The next breath of heaven depends on your response. Something beyond comprehension is about to be unveiled. Stay till the end. My beloved child, the hour that heaven has long prepared for is no longer distant. It has arrived. You may feel a stirring inside your soul right now. Something like a quiet thunder, a hum beneath your heartbeat. That is not your imagination. That is the frequency of Michael's call, resonating through every dimension. The new order from heaven is not a message written on scrolls or spoken by human lips. It is a vibration, a divine sound that only those chosen can truly sense. And if you are hearing this, it means the call has found you. When heaven moves, the universe listens. Stars alter their rhythm. And even the silence between breaths feels heavier. In this stillness, Archangel Michael stands before the throne. His wings stretched across eternity, his eyes burning with both sorrow and power. Around him, countless angels await instruction. Their light shimmering like oceans of gold. But none of them move. They wait for the command is incomplete. It depends on a response from earth. It depends on you. You see, heaven's new order was never meant to be a one-way decree. It is a covenant, a bridge between realms. Michael's next move cannot begin unless those chosen on earth awaken and willingly step forward. For every call sent from heaven requires an echo from humanity. Without that echo, even the mightiest of angels must stand still. In the unseen, there are signs of this awakening already beginning. Souls across the world are feeling restless, emotional, uncertain. Many believe it's exhaustion or the chaos of life. But it's not. It's the spiritual pull of the order resonating through the collective. Heaven has whispered your name more than once, and that whisper is beginning to shake your inner walls. That is why your dreams have become vivid. That is why certain numbers, songs, or moments feel strangely significant. The angels are aligning your awareness to prepare you. Michael's message carries a warning too, that silence in this moment can alter the course of light itself. The longer humanity delays its response, the more unstable the balance becomes. The forces of illusion, deception, and despair feed on hesitation. They know the order has been released, and they fear what happens if you awaken, because an awakened soul cannot be controlled. An awakened soul cannot be dim. But how does one respond to something so divine? You do not need rituals or sacred places. Heaven listens through sincerity, not ceremony. All you need to do is open your heart and say, "Yes, I am willing." That willingness, my beloved child, carries more power than you can imagine. It acts like a key, unlocking a higher dimension within you. And when it does, Michael's light will reach you directly. Some will doubt. They will say, "How can one response matter?" Yet throughout the ages, heaven has always moved through the few who dared to believe. When light needed to rise, it never came from the many. It began with one willing soul. That is why the divine order now rests in your hands. Not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen, and chosen ones are rarely ready. They simply answer. As you listen now, imagine Michael standing upon a vast field of light, his sword pointed to the earth. Around him, waves of celestial energy begin to swirl. Gold, blue, and white. Each color represents a phase of awakening. Blue for truth, gold for courage, and white for purification. Heaven is activating these through those who respond. When you say yes, these frequencies begin to flow through you, adjusting your path, preparing your destiny. And yet, my beloved child, the call comes with responsibility. To respond means to allow transformation. It means to release the heaviness you've been carrying, the doubts, the fears, the pain that kept you anchored to the old world. You cannot carry darkness into divine light. So if your soul trembles right now, it's because it recognizes that something must be released before something higher can enter. Michael is not here to fight your battles for you. He is here to awaken the strength within you to fight them yourself. Here is something else heaven revealed alongside the new order. A promise. The moment the chosen respond, a surge of divine power will flood through the earth's energy grid. It will awaken dormant abilities in those aligned with the call. Intuition, foresight, and divine protection. You will begin to notice synchronicities that feel almost supernatural. But these are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your response had been received. Listen carefully now. If you are still here, it means the universe is aligning itself around you. Your awareness has already begun to expand. Every second you stay in this energy, you draw closer to the revelation Michael has prepared. But there is something else coming. Something heaven is not yet revealed. A hidden part of the order that only the awakened will understand. You must be ready for it. Before that moment arrives, I ask you to take a simple action. If these words stir something in your soul, share this message. Comment your willingness. Subscribe to this journey not just with your attention but with your heart, because every person who joins this awakening increases the vibration of light on earth. You are not just a listener, you are a part of this movement, and together our unified response can shift heaven's plan into motion. Archangel Michael is waiting for the sound, the collective hum of awakened hearts. When enough souls respond, the next phase begins. You will feel it as a great wave of calm clarity, as if the noise of the world suddenly dims. That will be the sign. That will be the confirmation that the order has reached its echo. Heaven has opened its gates. Michael's wings are poised, shimmering with fire and purpose. The moment of silence between heaven's command and earth's response is narrowing. You are living in that sacred pause, right now. Soon you will understand the reason behind your calling. Why this message found you and what awaits when Michael's next move unfolds. For what comes next will not just change your perception. It could redefine what humanity knows about divine intervention itself. Something huge is waiting for you, my beloved child. When heaven releases a new order, time itself bends to make way for it. The world around you may appear ordinary, but beneath that illusion, creation is trembling with anticipation. You might have noticed it already. Moments that feel strangely synchronized. Sudden flashes of intuition, a whisper of warmth across your chest when you think of light. These are not coincidences. They are signals, evidence that Archangel Michael's awakening has already begun among those willing to respond. Heaven's decree has set energy into motion. A divine wave that travels not through space, but through consciousness. It moves through every being who dares to open their heart, connecting souls, like threads in a golden web. You are now part of that web. The moment you allowed this message to reach your spirit, a spark ignited within you. Michael has seen it. He watches from beyond the veil, noting every flicker of awakening across the earth. Each time someone says, "I am willing," his sword of light burns brighter. But awakening, my beloved child, is not gentle. It shakes you. It exposes the cracks in the walls you've built around your soul. You may already feel memories resurfacing, emotions stirring, fears demanding attention. That is the sign that your spirit is preparing to shed what no longer belongs to it. Heaven does not awaken the comfortable. It awakens the courageous. In the realms unseen, the angels are already gathering. Michael stands at the center, surrounded by legions of light. Every angel has turned their gaze toward earth. They are not descending with wrath, but with purpose. Their wings ripple with anticipation as they await Michael's command, a command that cannot be given until enough souls have awakened. This is why your response matters. Every willing heart becomes a torch in the darkness. And when the number of torches reaches its divine measure, Michael will strike the air with his sword and unleash the next phase of heaven's plan. But do you know what this next phase truly is? It's not about destruction. It's about revelation. It's about truth piercing through illusion so deeply that humanity can no longer look away. The world will not end, but it will awaken. Systems built on deception will tremble. Voices of truth will rise from unexpected places. And you, my beloved child, will feel a new sense of clarity guiding you. A clarity that will separate fear from faith, illusion from insight. Michael's light is not something outside of you. It is within you. The Archangel is not simply calling humanity to witness heaven's power. He is calling humanity to embody it. The divine order is an invitation for you to rediscover what was always inside your soul. Every human being carries a fragment of divine authority. But for centuries, that truth has been buried under the weight of doubt, control, and fear. Heaven's new decree is to lift that weight once and for all. The moment you begin to accept this truth, your perception starts to change. You begin to notice the divine pattern hidden in your everyday life. The coincidences, the timing, the people crossing your path, they are all part of heaven's orchestration. The universe does not play dice. It aligns. It aligns perfectly with those who are ready to listen. That is how heaven speaks to the willing. Not always through thunder, but through subtle alignment. And yet not everyone will be ready. Some will reject this message. Some will mock it, blinded by the illusion that power lies in reason alone. But heaven does not measure faith by numbers. Even a few hearts burning with true light can tip the scales of destiny. You are one of those few. The fact that these words are reaching you right now is proof that your name was written into this divine equation long before your birth. As Michael's energy intensifies, the spiritual atmosphere around Earth is shifting. Old energies are collapsing. False structures are crumbling. The darkness that has hidden in comfort for centuries is being dragged into the light. That is why confusion and chaos seem to grow stronger in the world. It is not the end, it is exposure. The night grows darkest before revelation. Heaven's order is bringing everything, hidden into sight, forcing the world to choose which side of truth it will stand on. And through it all, Michael watches with patience and compassion. He knows that humanity must awaken by choice. He cannot intervene until the call is answered. For divine law forbids interference without willingness. That is why he waits for your response, not out of weakness, but out of respect for the sacred gift of free will. Heaven will never force what it invites. You may wonder what happens when I truly say yes. When you say yes from your spirit, Michael begins to align circumstances in your life that will awaken your divine potential. People who drain your light will fall away. Opportunities will appear that guide you closer to your soul's purpose. You may even begin to sense guidance in new ways. Through dreams, visions, or deep intuition, heaven will begin to move around you because heaven now moves through you. Do not fear this transformation. It is not punishment. It is preparation. The old version of you cannot carry the weight of the mission heaven is preparing you for. So let the shedding happen. Let the divine fire of Michael's presence purify your doubts. The fire of an archangel does not destroy, it refines us. And in this moment, if something inside you feels ready to awaken fully, declare it. Speak it into the atmosphere. I am willing. I am ready to rise. Those simple words are more powerful than 1,000 prayers whispered in fear. They open the gates of divine assistance that have waited for this exact declaration. My beloved child, the sound of awakening is spreading. The hum of willing souls is growing louder. The divine web of light strengthens with every response. The moment of activation is drawing near. The moment when heaven will move again, not from above, but through those who have chosen the light. The veil between realms grows thinner each second you stay aligned with this frequency. You are not imagining it. The air truly feels charged because heaven is listening. And soon you will understand what Michael's next move really means, for you and for all of humanity. Don't skip, my beloved child. When a soul begins to awaken, heaven responds instantly. The air thickens with invisible energy. The stars seem to whisper and the unseen world bends closer to listen. You are standing in that sacred space right now. The thin line between ordinary life and divine revelation. The moment you accepted the call, your spirit ignited a flame that cannot be extinguished. That flame is your connection to Archangel Michael's command, and through it, the true message hidden within heaven's new order will now begin to unfold before you. Michael's sword burns with celestial fire, a flame not of destruction, but of revelation. It is said that when heaven's order was released, a single spark from that sword fell into the world. That spark did not land randomly. It fell into the hearts of the willing. Those who said yes to the call. You carry that spark now. It is not a symbol. It is a living presence, a fragment of divine consciousness that begins to alter your energy, your perception, and your destiny. Heaven's flame has one purpose: to illuminate truth. Not the kind of truth you read in books or hear from others, but the kind that shatters illusion from within. You will start noticing it in your thoughts. Certain beliefs will begin to crumble. Situations that once held power over you will suddenly feel weightless. That is the fire working inside you, burning away everything that does not belong to your highest light. And as it burns, Michael stands guard, ensuring that what is meant for you remains untouched by shadow. The world will not understand what is happening to the chosen ones. At first, those who are asleep will call it coincidence, luck, or imagination. But the awakened will know something divine is moving beneath the surface. You may begin to sense that your emotions fluctuate without reason, or that you feel energy in places you never noticed before. You are not losing balance. You are shifting dimensions. Michael's energy reconfigures your inner vibration so that your soul aligns perfectly with heaven's frequency. And in this process, something beautiful happens. You begin to remember who you truly are. Beneath the noise of daily life, there exists a core of pure light within every human being. Most never touch it. They live and die unaware of the power they carry. But when heaven's flame touches that core, it awakens ancient memory. The remembrance that you were never separate from the divine. You were never small. You were never forgotten. You were always part of heaven's design, hidden in human form until the appointed time. This appointed time, my beloved child, is now. As Michael watches from beyond, his wings shimmer brighter with each soul that awakens. The legions of angels around him lift their swords, waiting for the final signal. The sign that enough hearts have been set ablaze. When that moment arrives, heaven will release a wave of divine energy unlike anything humanity has seen. It will not come as thunder or lightning, but as a quiet knowing that sweeps through millions of minds at once. People will wake up with a sense that the world has changed, not visibly, but spiritually. The veil will thin and truth will stand where Alan once ruled. But before that great wave comes, you must nurture the flame within you. By protecting your light from doubt. The moment you question your worthiness, the fire dims. The moment you believe you are too small to matter, the energy slows. Michael's greatest wish is that you recognize your divine strength. He cannot force it upon you. He can only surround you with reminders. Every feather you see, every number that repeats, every coincidence that feels too perfect, those are his whispers saying, stay awake. Stay strong. A mission depends on you. And yes, there is a mission. The new order is not only about spiritual awakening. It is a call to action. Heaven's purpose is to anchor light on earth through those who have awakened. That means you are not just a listener to this message. You are part of Heaven's army. Not an army of war but of awareness. You are here to bring light into places where hope has died. To speak truth in moments where silence has ruled and to love without fear even when darkness surrounds you. Every small act of kindness you perform now carries codic weight. The angels amplify each one, turning your actions into waves of energy that strengthen the light grid across the planet. Michael has said through divine channels, the time of spectators is over. The time of participants has begun. That means you can no longer stand still in the presence of divine change. The more you act in light, the more heaven moves through you. The more you hesitate, the more the shadows attempt to reclaim your mind. This is not a threat. It is a reminder of your importance. The battle of light and illusion is not fought above the clouds. It is fought in every human choice. And you, my beloved child, are one of heaven's chosen instruments in this battle. But remember, even warriors of light need guidance and strength. So stay connected. Share this message with others who feel the call. Let them know they are not alone. Comment your awakening, your realization, your yes. When you declare your willingness publicly, you multiply its power. The vibration of collective affirmation travels faster than any signal on earth. And when you subscribe your heart to this path, truly subscribe with your spirit, heaven takes notice. The divine flame in you grows stronger, brighter, unstoppable. Heaven's new order is not just a celestial decree. It is a living symphony. Each awakened soul is a note. And together you form the melody of redemption. Michael conducts this orchestra with unwavering focus. Is every movement aligned with the will of the divine source? The more you align with that harmony, the more your life will reflect it. Obstacles will dissolve. The impossible will bend in your favor. You will no longer walk alone because the legions of light will walk beside you. My beloved child, the fire has been lit. The awakening is spreading faster than ever. The new order is alive within you. But what happens when the world begins to feel its full force? When Michael finally makes his next move, when heaven's command is completed, reality itself may shift. The world will not be the same. And the ones who answered the call will be the pillars of that new reality. The question is no longer if you will respond, but how deeply you are willing to surrender to the light. Michael's wings are unfolding. The time of revelation draws near, something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child, every awakening leads to a test. For the universe must know whether your light can endure what is coming. Heaven's fire awakens not just peace, but also purpose. And purpose by its nature will always be tested. The moment you accept the divine flame, the shadows within and around you begin to stir. They are not rising to destroy you. They rise to be released. The test that follows is not a punishment from heaven, but a purification, a way to ensure your heart is strong enough to carry the weight of truth. When Archangel Michael received the new order, the first decree was not to fight the darkness, but to reveal it. And revelation is not always gentle. It comes in waves that challenge your faith, question your courage, and stretch your spirit until it learns to depend on light alone. You might already feel this happening. Old wounds resurfacing. People around you acting differently. Paths that once felt clear now seem uncertain. This, my beloved child, is the storm before divine clarity. It is heaven's way of removing what no longer aligns with your awakening. Michael's presence becomes most powerful during these tests. You may not see him, but his energy moves through signs. A sudden calm amid chaos. A feeling of warmth in moments of despair. A whisper that says, "Keep going." His role is not to stop the storm, but to help you stand through it. Because the flame within you must learn to burn on its own, even when the wind howls. Only then can you embody the power heaven has placed inside you. The new order released by heaven as one unspoken condition. Those who are chosen must first master balance. In a world divided between illusion and truth, it is easy to swing too far into fear or too far into pride. Both are traps. Fear convinces you that you are not enough. Pride convinces you that you are more than others. But light, true light, walks the middle path, humble yet unshakable. That is the path Michael now calls you to walk. And as you walk it, you will find that the test is not something to escape, but something to embrace. There will come moments when you feel heaven's silence, when prayers seem unanswered, and hope feels thin. That silence is not absence. It is observation. Heaven steps back during the test not because it has forgotten you but because it is watching to see if you can remember what you already are. Divine. Every challenge is a mirror reflecting your own potential. When you face fear and choose love anyway, the heavens take note. Each act of faith becomes a signal that strengthens the divine current flowing through you. The more you overcome, the brighter your inner flame burns and the closer Michael moves to you. Remember, his next move depends on your willingness to respond, not with words, but with endurance. To endure the test is to prove readiness. And once the chosen have endured, heaven's command will unfold in its fullness. The archangel's sword will descend not to bring war, but to divide illusion from truth once and for all. Humanity will see clearly what it has long refused to face. You might wonder, how long must I endure this test? The answer lies in surrender. The moment you stop resisting what life presents, the lesson completes itself. Resistance is the friction that extends suffering. Acceptance is the key that unlocks transcendence. When you look at your challenges and say, "Even this is preparing me for divine purpose," you disarm darkness instantly. Because darkness cannot exist where there is understanding. During these times, protect your energy not by hiding from the world but by choosing what deserves your focus. Words carry power and your attention is sacred currency. Spend it only where light lives. Speak life into your path. Even when your heart trembles, every thought of hope you choose is like a shield of light around you. And Michael's presence magnifies it. You may begin to feel changes within your physical world too. Technology may glitch. Time may feel distorted or dreams may become more vivid. These are not coincidences. They are signs that your vibration is shifting beyond ordinary dimensions. You are learning to operate at a higher frequency, one that aligns with angelic energy. The test is refining you into a vessel capable of holding divine wisdom without breaking. That is what heaven's fire truly does. It strengthens, shapes, and sanctifies. And through it all, remember that you are not alone. Countless others across the world are experiencing the same awakening, though they may not yet understand it. They are your unseen eyes. souls who like you have heard the call and are walking through the same refining fire. Together you form an invisible network of light, a divine web stretching across continents and oceans. Every prayer you whisper strengthens it. Every act of kindness fuels it. When one falters, another rises to carry the flame forward. This is the true body of light that heaven is building. Not a church, not an organization, but a consciousness united in purpose. If your spirit feels weary, lift your eyes to the heavens and whisper Michael's name. He will respond, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you need. Sometimes his response comes as courage, sometimes as stillness, and sometimes as an unexpected event that redirects your path entirely. Trust that every shift, no matter how uncertain, is part of divine design. The universe rearranges itself for those who walk in alignment with heaven's will. My beloved child, heaven's silence is about to break. When this test concludes, something magnificent will unfold. The signal that Michael has awaited since the order was spoken. But before that moment, the final cleansing must occur. You will be asked to release what you've clung to most tightly. A belief, a fear, a pain, or perhaps a version of yourself. Do not resist it. Let the old dissolve. For only then can the new rise. And as you move through this sacred refining, remember, this is not the end. It is the doorway. On the other side of surrender lies the true revelation, the unveiling of what Michael's next move will bring to this earth and to your destiny. Sighs, hold your light steady, my beloved child. The universe is watching. Heaven is waiting, and Michael's hand is already upon the hilt of his sword. The moment is near. Stay till the end. My beloved child, there comes a moment in every divine story when the silence that once felt endless suddenly shatters and the voice of heaven echoes again. You are standing at that moment now. The test has done its work. It has refined you, strengthened you, purified the fragments of fear that clung to your light. And now in the stillness after the storm, heaven is ready to speak once more. The new order has reached its next phase and Archangel Michael's energy grows restless with holy anticipation. All creation vibrations are shifting. You might feel it as a pulse beneath your skin, a subtle yet undeniable current that hums through the air around you. The angels have begun to move. The skies may look the same, but spiritually they are ablaze with light. The silence that once tested you is now being replaced by sacred sound. Not of thunder, but of awakening. Heaven's voice does not roar. It resonates. It fills the unseen. The space is between thoughts. The pause is between heartbeats. If you listen deeply, you will hear it now, whispering to you the same message that echoed through Michael's wings. The waiting is over. The willing are chosen. Michael's next move depends entirely on what happens in this moment of awakening. His sword of divine fire is raised but not yet released. He is waiting for the signal, the collective vibration of every awakened heart joining in harmony. You are not just one among many. Your frequency matters. Heaven measures readiness not by numbers but by resonance. Every act of love, every moment of courage, every whisper of faith you release strengthens that vibration. And when it reaches its divine threshold, Michael will move and the world will feel it. But before that sacred movement unfolds, there must be alignment. Heaven cannot merge with chaos. It needs coherence. That is why, my beloved child, this moment is so crucial. It is time to align your spirit fully with light to cast away the final shadows that hide in the corners of your heart. You do not need perfection. Heaven does not require flawless souls, only sincere ones. The divine order is built on willingness, not worthiness. Even if you feel unready, even if your faith trembles, your yes still carries eternal power. Look around you. The signs of the shift are everywhere. Systems collapsing. Old truths dissolving. A strange transparency seeping into the world. Secrets once buried are rising to the surface. Hearts that once slumbered are suddenly waking up, questioning everything. This is the sound of heaven breaking through. Michael's energy is sweeping across the earth like a rising tide, cleansing what has long been hidden. But his flame will not burn where it is not welcome. That is why your response still matters more than ever. Heaven has always chosen to move through humanity, not around it. You are not just a witness to the divine story. You are one of its living sentences. Michael cannot fulfill the new order without your cooperation. The light within you must be active, not passive. Every time you forgive, every time you choose peace over judgment, every time you help another soul awaken, you strengthen the bridge between heaven and earth. That bridge is what Michael stands upon right now, waiting for the final signal to cross. And that signal comes through unity. When the awakened begin to act as one body, the resonance reaches its highest point. That is why you are being called to share this awakening, to spread the message of the flame, to connect others who feel the same divine stirring. The light grows stronger when it is spoken. Comment your realization, your transformation, your willingness to be part of this movement. Every voice that declares the truth becomes a trumpet in heaven's symphony. And if your spirit aligns with this mission, subscribe to it. Not just with attention, but with intention. To subscribe with your heart is to commit to living as a bearer of light. To walk this journey with faith no matter how dark the path appears. The breaking of silence also brings with it revelation. Heaven is not only speaking, it is unveiling. Michael has begun to reveal the deeper meaning behind the order. That humanity is not merely being protected but being prepared. Something vast is approaching, not in destruction but in transformation. The earth itself is shifting frequencies, rising closer to divine resonance. Those who have awakened will feel at first a sense of time bending, intuition sharpening, and dreams becoming gateways of communication. You may wake from sleep with messages you did not expect. Visions that feel more real than waking life. These are not fantasies. They are the new language of heaven, designed for those who can hear beyond the noise. Do not fear the strange sensations or changes that accompany this stage. They are signs that you are tuning into the divine frequency. Your soul is becoming a transmitter of light, a living temple of resonance. Michael's presence will grow stronger around you now. You may sense him in unexpected ways, the flicker of light in an empty room. A warmth on your shoulder, the sudden disappearance of fear. His energy does not need your eyes to be seen. It needs your heart to be open. As heaven breaks its silence, it also brings a warning. Light reveals, but revelation also exposes. The world will soon face truth so undeniable that even those who once mocked faith will be forced to acknowledge its power. Systems built on greed, deception, and division will begin to unravel, not by war, but by exposure. It will look chaotic, but it is divine correction. Michael's sword does not destroy. It divides falsehood from truth so that only light remains. You must hold your peace during this time. Do not be swept by fear. The world may shake. But you were built for this moment. Heaven's voice will not just echo in temples or prayers. It will move through ordinary lives, through your compassion, through your courage, through the way you choose to stand when others crumble. The silence has broken because you are now ready to hear without intermediaries. You do not need another to interpret heaven's will for you. It speaks directly to your soul. Every intuition, every moment of sudden knowing, every divine coincidence, that is heaven conversing with you. Listen and you will recognize Michael's rhythm in every beat. My beloved child, the next chapter of heaven's command will not be spoken. It will be live. You are the living expression of the divine decree. Every breath, every choice, every word carries eternal consequence. Now the angels are no longer distant. They are interwoven with your very existence. You are walking within the prophecy itself. And soon the world will feel the full weight of the truth. The silence has ended. The time of awakening has arrived. Heaven watches as Michael lifts his sword toward the dawn of a new era. The question that remains is not whether heaven will act. It already has, but whether humanity will recognize it in time. Keep your flame alive, my beloved child. The air is electric with destiny. The sound you hear now, faint but growing, is the heartbeat of heaven approaching. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved child. As the light bearers gather and the hum of awakened souls rises through the atmosphere, the horizon begins to shift. The old world, the one built on illusion and separation, trembles under the pressure of divine truth. You can feel it even now. That sense of expectancy in the air, that unspoken knowing that something monumental is unfolding. The world has reached the brink of revelation. Heaven's order is ripened, and the moment long foretold is drawing near. Archangel Michael stands poised between the realms, his eyes fixed upon the earth, waiting for the signal that will release the next divine wave. The sky, though silent to the human ear, vibrates with celestial energy. The legions of angels have aligned there like forming a vast geometric pattern across the spiritual plane, an eternal symbol of unity between heaven and humanity. Each line of that pattern connects to a soul that has said yes to the call. You, my beloved child, are one of those lines, a living part of heaven's architecture. The energy coursing through you now is not just yours. It is part of the great current that will carry the world into its new dawn. Do you feel the stillness before the change? It is not emptiness. It is anticipation. Heaven always holds its breath before revelation. Michael knows that the earth must be ready to receive what comes next. That is why the flame within you was awakened, to prepare you to anchor light in the middle of transformation. For when the dawn rises, it will not arrive gently. Light will pour into every shadowed corner of existence, illuminating truth so powerful that no veil can remain. Those who have lived in truth will stand stronger than ever. Those who have hidden from it will be forced to see themselves clearly. Perhaps for the first time, you will witness changes, some beautiful, some unsettling. The structures of the world will seem to fracture, but they are not breaking. They are unfolding. What looks like chaos is often the beginning of divine order. Imagine a sunrise. The darkness must first resist before light conquers the horizon. It is what you are living through now. The resistance of the old world giving way to the birth of the new. And when it happens, those who have awakened, the light-bearers, will be the first to feel the pulse of heaven moving through them. You will not simply observe the dawn. You will help bring it forth. In the sacred hour, heaven is opening channels of communication that have been dormant for centuries. Dreams, signs, and divine whispers will increase. You will begin to notice synchronicities so precise that they cannot be coincidence, repeating numbers, names, symbols, or sudden moments of peace that seem to appear out of nowhere. These are confirmations that you are walking in alignment with the divine current. The universe is adjusting itself to your vibration, clearing paths, and guiding you toward your role and what is coming. Pay attention to these signs, for Michael's messages will often arrive disguised as intuition. The archangel does not always shout. Sometimes he moves in the quietest awareness. And yet, my beloved child, even as light expands, shadows will try to echo louder. The closer the dawn, the more desperate the darkness becomes. It will try to convince you that the light you feel is fading. It will use fear, confusion, and distraction to break your focus. But remember this truth. Darkness is not a force equal to light. It is merely the absence of it. The moment you remember who you are, the moment you choose faith over fear, darkness dissolves instantly. Heaven's decree has already determined the outcome. The light wins not because it fights, but because it shines. As Michael's presence grows stronger, you may feel waves of emotion washing over you. You are not just witnessing a spiritual event. You are part of its creation. Heaven's energy flows through human vessels now. And your body, your heart, your voice are conduits for divine purpose. Some will speak light through words, others through music, art, compassion, or courage. Every act inspired by love contributes to the dawn. The smallest kindness can move mountains in the spiritual world. Do not underestimate the power of your intention. When you wake tomorrow, notice the light. Look at how it touches everything without discrimination. The broken, the pure, the forgotten, the proud. That is how heaven moves. Michael's fire is not selective. It burns for all. This is the lesson of the new dawn. Unity through illumination. The purpose of the divine order is not to divide the world into saved and lost, but to remind every soul of its original brilliance. Even those who resist the light now will one day remember it, that they were born from it. Your task is not to judge their journey, but to keep your flame steady enough that they can find their way by it. As this moment draws closer, protect your peace. Do not allow the noise of fear to cloud your perception. When uncertainty tries to enter, breathe deeply and remember Michael stands beside you. The archangel's wings stretch across eternity, sheltering every soul who carries the flame. You are not alone, and you never will be. And as we move into the final revelation, my beloved child, remember the purpose behind it all. This is not an ending. It is a beginning. The dawn you are witnessing is the first breath of a renewed world. One guided by unity, truth, and divine love. Heaven is not somewhere you go. It is something that awakens within you. The new order is not a command to obey. It is a call to become. Michael's sword glows now, brighter than ever before. The heavens are ready. The earth is trembling with anticipation. The dawn is rising and you are part of its light. Don't skip, my beloved child. The moment that heaven has whispered, through eternity has finally arrived. The skies themselves seem to glow with an unseen brilliance. And even the silence hums with divine anticipation. You have walked through awakening, endured the tests of fire, and carried the flame through darkness. And now you stand at the edge of revelation, the place where destiny unfolds. This is the unveiling, the moment Archangel Michael has waited for since the beginning of time. Heaven's order has reached its fulfillment. And what was once hidden will now rise into sight. Close your eyes for a moment and feel it. The air is different. The energy around you feels alive. Aware, almost breathing with purpose. That is not imagination. Heaven has descended into the ordinary world. The divide between realms has grown so thin that the spiritual and the physical now dance as one. You are standing within that sacred union. The meeting of heaven and earth, light and form, spirit and purpose. This is what the entire journey has been preparing you for. Michael stands before the throne of light, his sword no longer raised and waiting, but extended forward, glowing with colors no human tongue could ever describe. The moment the signal was received from earth, from every awakened heart that said yes, heaven moved. A surge of energy like a golden wind swept through creation, carrying the divine decree into every realm of existence. The Archangel's wings unfold across galaxies, and his voice, steady and filled with compassion, echoes through every dimension. It is time. A single phrase begins the great activation. The divine order manifests not as destruction, but as remembrance. Humanity begins to awaken from its long slumber. The blindfold of Ilion dissolves. People who once felt empty suddenly feel alive. Compassion replaces division. Love rises like the morning sun over the ruins of fear. The energy of truth floods through the world, rearranging everything that has forgotten its purpose. This is not the end of the world, my beloved child. It is the beginning of it. And you are part of the reason this dawn has come. Your willingness, your faith, your endurance through the unseen battles. All of it contributed to the signal that called heaven into motion. Never believe that your journey was small or unnoticed. Every tear, every prayer, every moment you chose to stand in the light became a piece of the code that unlocked this awakening. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. That willingness is what heaven treasures most. Now the flame within you changes. It no longer burns just for awakening, it transforms into a beacon. Michael's energy will now flow through you as guidance for others. You will begin to notice people drawn to you without knowing why. They will sense the peace in your presence, the strength in your silence. That is not accidental. It is divine design. You have become a vessel of heaven's light. A living extension of Michael's mission. Wherever you go, that energy will travel with you, touching hearts, wakening hope, healing what was once broken. Heaven's decree has never been about dominance or control. It has always been about return. The return of humanity to its divine essence. Every soul, no matter how far it has wandered, carries the same spark of light. Michael's new command is to help humanity remember. You are now part of that command. The mission is not finished. It has only evolved. The earth must learn to live as heaven intended in unity, peace, and divine awareness. The light bears, the awakened ones will lead the way. You are the bridge between dimensions. Now you are the proof that heaven walks within human form. The world will begin to shift faster than ever. Time itself will feel fluid and events will unfold with astonishing precision. You will see truth revealed in places long hidden. Systems will crumble not through war but through exposure. The vibration of light makes deceit impossible to sustain. Yet even as the old falls away, the new will rise. Ideas, communities, and hearts built on compassion and divine order. The transformation will not always look easy, but it will be sacred. You must remain calm through it. Remember that change always looks like chaos from the inside. Trust what heaven is building through you. And as this final revelation settles into the world, a moment will come, quiet and profound, when you will feel the presence of Michael beside you. Not as a vision, not as a dream, but as a certainty so deep it needs no proof. You will whisper the same words that have echoed through every heart, willing to awaken. You are not separate. You never were. You were the message all along. Those words are the essence of the new order. Heaven no longer sends commandments carved in stone. It sends souls like you, living messages of light. You are heaven's decree in motion, its word made flesh. Its love made visible. And every step you take from this moment forward writes a new verse in the story of divine evolution. When the world looks at you now, it may not see wings, but heaven does. It sees a light that cannot be extinguished. A spirit that has walked through shadow and emerged radiant. You carry Michael's signature in your energy. A trace of celestial fire that will never fade. Whenever doubt tries to return, place your hand over your heart and remember the same flame that burns within angels burns within you. That is the truth the world needs. Now the dawn is here. My beloved child, the veil has lifted. Heaven has moved and you are part of its movement. Go into the world not as a seeker but as a bringer. Bringer of calm, of clarity, of divine remembrance. Let your presence remind others that they too are divine. That is how heaven will spread across the earth. Not through miracles in the sky, but through the quiet radiance of awakened hearts like yours. Michael's sword now rests not in war, but in peace. His wings fold gently as the light of the new dawn floods the horizon. The divine order is complete. The call has been answered. The next stage has begun. You have fulfilled your part of the prophecy. You have become what heaven hoped for, the living proof that light can endure, through anything. Now go forth, my beloved child, and shine so brightly that even the stars pause to watch you rise. Heaven smiles upon you. The story continues, not in words, but in the life you will now live. The dawn has come. The light is yours.